All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The final race of the season from Slinger, Don Warren and Pujanowski on the front row. The Iceman and Derek Schilling on the second row. Gerald Thanos Poole, Richie Joplin on the third row. Stephen Lindner, Michael Whiting on the fourth row. Terry James, Ryan Warp round out the top 10. Kevin Bruner starting in 11th, next to Tim St. Jean in 12th, Mike Burgess in 13th, John Wyatt in 14th, Andrew Schuler rounds out the field. Blake, I am definitely looking forward to seeing you back next week, buddy. Good luck, Gerald. Good luck, Richie. As we mentioned, Richie Joplin came in tonight with the championship locked up. Unless he gets some sort of massive penalty tonight, but from second on back, every position just a few points separate them. Hayes' car dives in. The green flag flies quickly here at Slinger. Here we go, through 3 and 4, green flag is in the air. The season finale is underway. Wow, Punch almost took the lead, but Don Warren sneaks by. The battle is on. Back behind is the Iceman, down to the inside for second. Our new champ, Richie Joplin, sitting at 6th, and the battle for second is still on. Oh, we've got a wreck. The caution is out. John Wyatt, Kevin Bruner, Tim St. Jean all caught up. All right, let's see what happened. All right, looking down from the chopper. Coming out of turn 4. Oh, everybody has to move. Looks like it may have started up with Michael Whiting. All right, there's Michael Whiting on the high side. Coming out of the turn. Oh, gets bumped into the wall. They stack up. Bruner, John, nowhere to go. Don Warren, DJ Kenner, Pujanowski, Derek Schilling, Gerald Poole, the top 5. Gerald, if he can hold on for a top 5 tonight, would be a good season for him. He has been on fire all season long. And the green flag flies again. Single file on the restart. Don Warren on the move quickly. As we were saying, Gerald Poole has had a great season. The finishes have not shown. He's currently 8th in points. With Mark Nelson not here tonight, he's liable to pick up at least one more position. Ryan Ward starting to move. Currently in 8th, already up a couple spots. Ryan did just set the fastest lap of 11.74. They're flying around this quarter-mile high bank track. And Terry James has a really good view of the track. See if we can dial up his in-car camera. Riding along with Terry as they come out of turn 4 across the start-finish line. Right back into 1 and 2. No rest for the drivers. A little bobble out of 1 and 2. Back on the brakes into 3 and 4. Back on the power. And remember, they are doing this quarter mile in under 12 seconds a lap. And you heard him feathering the power soon, too quick, too hard. That back end is going around. Don Warren is about to be in lap traffic. Tim St. Jean at the tail end of the lead lap. Kevin Bruner just ahead. And you know, those two guys are hoping for a quick caution. All the drivers settling in for the moment, except for Ryan Ward. Stephen Lindner looks underneath Gerald Poole. Ryan's going to try and take advantage. Lindner clears. Mike Burgess has had a problem. And he does. Burgess toes it in. We will not see the caution. There's Mike as he comes through 3 and 4. Loose on the power down through the infield into the barrier. Ouch. Remember, they do not have a fast repair. Mike is going to be on pit road getting repairs for a while. Don Warren has the Iceman all over his bumper. Pudge currently in third, losing a little ground on the top two. Drivers starting to work their way through lap traffic. Kevin Bruner, Tim St. Jean, both a lap down at the moment. Bruner currently in the lucky dog position. Gerald Poole currently in 7th. We saw Stephen Lindner clear him into 6th. Stephen is just about caught up to the new champ, Richie Joplin. Richie all over Derek Schilling's back bumper. Richie down to the inside. And Richie's gonna clear and take 4. Schilling kissed the wall out of turn 4. John Wyatt goes up the track as the leader gets by. And Wyatt has gone to pit road. Gerald Poole is going to pit road. Well, that is definitely going to help Kevin Bruner and Tim St. Jean regain a little bit of ground. Remember, coming into tonight, Richie does have the points lead. Jess Chambers comes into tonight second, but Jess not in the field. Kevin Bruner coming in third, 13 points behind Jess. Likely to see Bruner move up. Mark D'Antuma was just 1 point behind him. But D'Antuma not in the field. Missing quite a few drivers here tonight, but a huge benefit to current leader Don Warren. Warren came into tonight tied for 4th in points, likely to pull up to 3rd. Kevin Bruner had been battling for the championship with Richie earlier in the season. Had quite a bit of back and forth early on. And looks like Gerald Poole got too much wheel damage. Don Warren and DJ Kenner have now opened up a 1.2 lead on Pudge as Richie reels Pudge in. And Ryan Ward, whoa! Ryan had to cut way low coming through 1 and 2. Bounced it a little bit. Ouch, against the wall at a 4. He bounced it a little bit off the apron last time, but Ryan holds on. streaming. Might even have a few surprises. We currently do not have a race scheduled for Sunday night, but rumor has it SMR may put on a fun run. Don Warren has started to pull away from the Iceman. His lead now 1 second. Richie Joplin now up into third, having gotten past Pudge. Eric Schilling still holding on to fifth, but Stephen Linder on the move. Hey, good evening, Angie Louise. Ryan Warp now up into seventh, trying to close back up on Linder. And I do have to say, folks, my favorite paint scheme of the season. There's been a lot of great ones, but man, Derek in the Blockbuster video car has just been epic. And I do still have my old laminated Blockbuster card somewhere. John Wyatt may be out as well. Too much damage to his car. And John Wyatt officially out. Gerald Poole, Mike Burgess still pit road. Michael Whiting also out early. It is a small track. You get a lot of bumping early on. And Don Warren's lead continuing to grow as Richie Joplin closes in on the Iceman. Significant damage. Remember, he was involved in that first caution. Kevin Bruner now in 9. Tim St. Jean holding on to 10. A lot of the drivers hitting the wall a little too much here tonight. There's a few spots on this track that wall may have to be replaced when the race is over. We've seen just about everybody give that wall a kiss tonight. Ryan Warp in 7th, about 3 seconds behind Stephen Linder, but closing. Linder still right behind Derek Schilling. That top 4, though, breaking away. But Don Warren's 2 1/4 second lead is about to be challenged because Don is about to have a lot of lap traffic ahead. Gerald Poole will be filing assault charges against the wall after the race. I think a lot of drivers, could be a class action lawsuit. Ryan Warp in 7th, and the leader, Don Warren, not far behind. And if we stay green for the remainder of this, likely going to see all these drivers go the distance as Tim St. Jean is on the move. Oh, Ryan ended up in the grass. And Don Warren is slipping by. Derek Schilling in fifth. Linder tried to get by a moment ago. Now into heavy traffic and the field tightening up as Richie now to second. The Iceman in third. Hudge in fourth. Don Warren's lead now over 5 seconds, but from second on back to Derek Schilling, just separated by about 1.8 seconds. Stephen Linder also right there. Whoa! Derek a little bit loose out of 4, holds on to it. Derek did say before the race he's usually complaining that the car is too loose. When he gets some help from Richie, this week he had to loosen it up even more. Stephen Linder has slipped by to take fifth. Brian Ward about 6.25 seconds back after his problem. He was gaining on that top 5, but has lost a lot of ground. Meanwhile, Don Warren's lead, and no surprise with the traffic is shrinking. Richie Joplin now just 4.6 seconds back. The Iceman still holds on to third, Pudge in fourth, Linder in fifth. Whoa! Pudge was a bit out of shape coming out of 4. That right rear just giving the wall a little kiss. Gets it off the turn a lot better that time. These drivers, as these tires wear, they have their hands full. Derek Schilling has had a problem. And we will not see the caution. Waiting to make sure Schilling's going to be okay here. Looks like no caution. Let's see what happened. There's Derek up on the high side, down into 3 and 4. Big loose out of 4. Terry James barely avoids it. Does manage to keep it out of all the barriers, gets it going again. Great save, and he gets loose again. Derek may have loosened that car up a little too much. Derek has gone into pit road. Likely going to get some fresh tires on that car. Past the halfway point, Don Warren has already lapped a large amount of the field. Only 5 cars left on the lead lap. Don Warren, Richie Joplin, DJ Kenner, Pujanowski, and Stephen Linder. And folks, don't forget, if you missed any of the winter season, you can find it on our YouTube in 4K. Plus, you'll find all the highlights from every race. Richie Joplin is closing on the leader. The new champ about 3 seconds behind. DJ about 2.7 seconds behind Richie. Hudge about 0.8 seconds back, still within striking distance. Stephen Linder on his bumper. Ryan Ward right behind him, but a lap down. Derek Schilling is back out on track, now in 10th. It looks like Derek took fresh right side tires. As Terry James is in. you just how tight this quarter-mile high bank track can get. Even with this many cars left on track, things are tight everywhere. Richie now 1.7 seconds behind Dawn. Hutch still holding a caution is out. The caution is back out, and I am not sure what for. Let's take a look and see if we can figure it out. All right, there's the Iceman up on the high side. Oh, Lindner, big loose underneath, manages to save it. I do believe the caution was for Gerald Poole coming off pit road. And nobody is coming in. All right, folks, let's get a little bit loud. The green flag flies. Crank it up, y'all. What a beautiful sound that is. Dawn Warren up front. Richie Joplin, Pujanowski, DJ Kenner, Stephen Lindner, your top five. But importantly, sixth place Ryan Warp is now back on the lead lap. And we've got a slow car, Tim St. Jean down low. Tim has got it back up. He is bringing it in. And folks, a last minute announcement, just getting word. No trucking tonight. Sadly, no convoy. Unicorn not feeling great. Richie Joplin right on the bumper of Dawn Warren. Remember, Richie already has the championship locked up. Oh! Dawn and Richie get together. Dawn spins into turn one. Caution! The caution is back out. Been an impressive run so far because only 3 cautions on this little bitty track. Let's see that again. All right, looking down from the chopper. Richie gets a run underneath. Dawn bounces off the wall, just barely into Richie's nose. Dawn. He comes off the turn up top, trying to carry momentum. Bounces down just enough to hit Richie's nose. Does a 360, does recover it unscathed. All right, here we go. Pace car dives in. Richie Joplin in control. Green flag. Back in the air. Nose to tail, except for Ryan Warp, who's trying to make moves up top. Derek Schilling down underneath Kevin Bruner. Got the lucky dog last time. He is in 7th. Back on the lead lap. Steven Lindner just ahead. The lap car, Derek Schilling, is in the lucky dog position as Ryan tries to get by. Richie out front, the Iceman in 2nd, and now Pudge into 3rd. Don Warren has slipped back into 4th. And folks, tonight is the final race of the season, but next Thursday, a new season begins. Richie trying to open up a gap on DJ. Touch to, oh, Dawn hits a little hard. Lindner has a run underneath. Ryan Warp still sitting at 6, but Bruner closing in behind. Derek Schilling trying to find his way back to the lead lap the old-fashioned way. Richie Joplin now has a 7/10 of a second lead over the Iceman. Man, that's going to be an interesting battle. Pudge versus the Iceman. And Pujanowski has been on fire since his return after a 2-year hiatus. And folks, don't forget, make sure you're following on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We will be broadcasting a couple of special events for Home Motorsports in March. Richie trying to open up a gap on the Iceman. Ryan Warp has had a problem behind. No caution yet. He has recovered, still going. Let's see what happened. There's Ryan on the bottom, looking underneath Don Warren. Just pushes up into Dawn, bounces down. Goes through the grass, but quickly recovers. Ryan was fighting his way back into the top 5. He's going to need a caution to help now. Steven Lindner making a move on Pudge underneath. Lindner now to 3rd. Derek Schilling again not on the lead lap, but fighting his way forward, hoping for a caution to put him back on the lead lap. Whoa! Derek a little bit loose out of 4. Ryan's still in the lead lap, but Richie Joplin closing in. The Iceman still there. Stephen Lindner closing on both of the top two. At the moment, Lindner the fastest car on track. Pujanowski still in fourth. Derek still extremely fast out here, but getting trapped a lap down early after that pit stop has really cost him. Ryan still holding on to seventh with the leader closing in. And the gap between first and second starting to grow. Stephen Lindner now in third is caught up to the Iceman. Kevin Bruner now up into fifth. Don Warren sliding back into sixth. Gerald Poole is back out on track currently in 11th. And it looks like it'll be close, but I do believe Gerald will move up into 10th. 9 laps to go as Stephen Lindner takes second, is 1.1 seconds behind the leader. To go for Richie Joplin. Lindner now 1.25 seconds back as the Iceman with him. Kevin Bruner now up into fourth as Pudge is starting to fade. Don Warren closing on Pudge, may end up moving up. Stephen Lindner in second, trying to close that gap. About 1.1 seconds. And here we go. 3 laps to go with Slinger. Richie Joplin right on the bumper of Ryan Warp, the last car on the lead lap. 2 to go, and Richie about to finish the season with his 6th win of the season. As here he comes, the white flag flies one more time around for Richie. 10 races, 6 wins. Richie pulls it off, wins the race and the title. Stephen Lindner holds on to come home in second, and the Iceman coming home in third. Kevin Bruner came from a lap down to pull up fourth. Pudge holds on to fifth. And Gerald Poole does make it back to the top 10. Alright, now while the season points are being calculated, we're going to talk to our top 3. And looks like at the moment the only one available is our new champ and race winner, Richie Joplin. Richie, it looked a little sketchy there early, buddy, but you pulled it off. Come home with the win, come home with the championship.
Yeah, I didn't qualify with the crap. I done something. I don't know what I done wrong qualifying. I just messed up completely. I was way off. I was out what you call left field. Yeah, I just sat there and rode, let my tire temps come up. I didn't really run hard. Kind of wait until everybody got situated and their tires warmed up and I could start passing. Uh, I got into Donald, and I apologize for that. I have not watched the replay on that deal. I thought DJ saw me down at the bottom. He came down on top of me, but I would watch that and make sure. I didn't mean to get into him, but he probably won't be thinking that.
Well, stop wrecking everybody, Richie.
Yeah, I was getting in. I was backing off early, getting in, letting it roll, and I was misjudging. Might as well say I was screwing up, misjudging, because my roll rate was a lot better than what they was doing. I don't know, but I managed to come back to the win, so I take it, and I take the championship. Who won't take a championship? You know what I'm saying?
I know it, buddy. Great job. A heck of a season. 6 wins. Great job, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug.
Oh, you're still.
We know Richie got a championship unless you're going to give him a 100-point penalty, which I fully support, Kevin.
I'm not sure that would affect the standings.
So we know Richie got the title, but who came home in second and third?
All right, so with the 1 week drop, Jess Chambers finished second, 57 points behind Richie, and I finished third, 11 points behind Jess Chambers.
Man, it was a heck of a fight all season long. Looking forward to the new season, but looking forward to any more late model races we do in the future, man. It's been a heck of a season.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun this season. Yes, it has.
Well, great job and a great finish, Kevin. Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks for the great season broadcasting.
My pleasure. And we can get a word with second place, Stephen Lindner. Stephen, I have to ask, why didn't you just ram him?
Ram who?
I grabbed the wrong person. Stephen, I do have to ask, I think on that last restart you had an opportunity to ram Richie, and I have to ask, why not? Hey, Steven, it's Doug. You got me, buddy? I can't tell what is going on with Steven, but guys, we'll give him another minute. In the meantime, don't forget we will be streaming tomorrow afternoon. So come by, tune in, say hello. Please go watch some of our YouTube videos as well. We'll have this one on YouTube in 4K. In just a couple of hours, maybe sooner. And Steven, oh no, we have lost Steven. So, folks, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for an awesome season to the admins and the drivers and everybody involved. Thank you guys so much. We will see you all tomorrow. Remember, no convoy tonight. We have a sick unicorn. I'm going to go take care of her. Have a good night, everybody.